You know what's always fun? A big, exciting Magento release filled with these sparkly new features that, yeah, they totally revolutionize the shopping experience. Except, I hate to break it to you, but Magento 2.4.8, it's not that release. Well, actually, with one exception.
Please, go on.
As of today, it's here, and developers will be excited because it now supports PHP 8.4. But for merchants, clicking through the admin will literally be 99.9% the same as it was. So in this video, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna answer what changed, what hasn't, and wrap it up with the question, how soon do I need to apply this update? And yes, I will admit, my answer is not the most common in this space. But if you're ready, let's dive in. The biggest change by count is bug fixes. Hundreds of fixes. This means an overall smoother experience, which is a good thing. It also shows that Adobe is still significantly investing into their platform, even after almost 10 years in production. But it also illustrates that this is an enterprise-grade system that does take significant effort and upkeep. Adobe's doing their part, and it's very important for merchants to do their part as well. But next in line is background updates, things that you're not going to notice at all. So first one is PHP 8.4 compatibility, which means you will need to say goodbye to PHP version 8.1. Did you know that PHP 8.1 goes end of life or is unsupported as of December 31st of this year, 2025? This might not seem like a big deal, but it does affect your PCI compliance. Check out Rule 6.1. It is important to stay on top of these platform or system updates. Another thing it brings to the table is database compatibility with 8.4 version of MySQL and MariaDB 11.4. They're both now officially supported. Additionally, there's just some general library housekeeping and updates. So TinyMCE is one. It is a what you see is what you get visual editor, which I can't actually find anywhere that this is used in the Magento admin. So your mileage might vary, probably mostly used in third-party modules. Of course, that is only if you are using Page Builder, which you should be. Page Builder is far better than using TinyMCE to manage content on your website. But other things like Require.js, Monologue, just some tiny tweaks, housekeeping, performance, and security. Now, if you are utilizing a headless front end or other types of integrations, there are a couple of improvements in this department, nothing earth-shattering, but will result in some performance improvements as well. Also, there is a shipping tweak. So if the FedEx integration used to use a protocol to connect with the FedEx API called SOAP, was like washing your mouth out with soap when it comes to managing it or working with it. And now it uses a new protocol called REST, which sounds far more restful. And I like REST better than I like SOAP, but it makes it actually easier for developers to modify and to work with. So that's a win right there. There aren't many visible changes on this side, but I do want to call out the couple that are. So if you are using the associated B2B version of Adobe Commerce, there was one capability that was sorely missed. I recorded a video recently about the new updates to multi-company managements. Basically, there was a company hierarchy that Adobe released in October of last year, which was a huge win overall. In fact, on the front end, there is now a company switcher. So if somebody is assigned in multiple companies, you can now switch from company to company. Well, they just added the ability for an administrator to be added to one company, but then be able to switch to different companies in the hierarchy. It was missed. I am glad to see this now present. Additionally, salespeople can now link to documents in DocuSign or AdobeSign. That's also a pretty cool addition. If you do want to see an overview of some of these neat things that Adobe has recently done with the B2B edition, check out my video right here. It's really easy to see what has been updated. Additionally, a couple small updates with Braintree integration. For example, tracking information is now sent to Braintree, which should in theory reduce these wonderful package has not arrived disputes. Additionally, Google Pay and Apple Pay now have cart line items visible. So when we click into Apple Pay or Google Pay, there's that little box on the bottom of your screen. Well, it now can show the cart line items. That's a small, but it's a really nice win. And finally, this isn't necessarily a visible change to you, but it's still important regardless. Remember those encryption keys that everyone had to change out? That was thanks to the lovely actors behind the Cosmic Sting vulnerability. They will forever rest not in peace in my mind. We're actually on our third integration for tools to change them. It's been a painful journey, and if you have not changed your encryption key, you probably need to do that as soon as possible. I am grateful for Adobe putting an investment into changing this obscure part of the system and iteratively working to find a system that works well. It's been a trip getting here. So we answered the question of what changed, and there's some good changes, nothing earth-shattering, but what hasn't changed? I think you know where I'm going with this one. Most everything is the same overall, which is good news for the upgrade process that brings the price down, the cost to upgrade. And most of these updates are minor and should be very seamless. Now here's the thing, I know you get tired of patches, but what's funny is last month, Adobe revealed they're also getting tired of these patches. At Summit last month, they released Adobe Commerce as a service, where Adobe literally manages the entire application while still retaining most every mechanism for customization. If you're interested in learning more about this, I have another video right up here, which will give you all of the details. Or the other cool thing that they released was if you want a lightning fast experience and a really nice way to manage content, that's the other product, Adobe Commerce Optimizer. And I have a video for that as well up here. So make sure to be informed as far as what Adobe is doing to ease the administration and the cost of managing your website going forward. But on to the third question, who should upgrade? If you're a merchant, this is the part you probably really care about. And you're asking the question, do I need to upgrade right now? Here's the answer. As long as you are currently on a supported version of Magento and you are patched up, and there are patches that were just released today as well, you do not need to be on 2.4.8. So remember, Magento 2.4.4 is no longer supported. 2.4.5 will be unsupported as of August this year. So you really need to be working toward an upgrade, ideally to this 2.4.8. 2.4.6 in August of next year, and 2.4.7 of April of 2027. So remember, if a version is unsupported or is past its support window, Adobe is no longer releasing patches, and then this now fails PCI Rule 6.1, which is not a good thing. But the good news is, as of this video recording, Magento 2.4.8 doesn't have an end date. So yay for that. But I guarantee it will eventually, and my guess is it will be April of 2028. Now, I laid out these end dates as far as planning for your side. Stick with patches until you're within the end of the window and then start working on the upgrade. But the only complicating factor is PHP 8.1 is unsupported as of December of this year. And guess what? Magento 2.4.7 still does support this old version of PHP 8.1. You might need to perform a PHP version upgrade before you upgrade Magento, or consider doing it in one batch. Shoot me an email, joseph@swiftotter.com, and I'd love to help you figure out the most economical path forward with the Magento upgrades and the PHP upgrades, and figure out how all that can work together. But with all this upgrade talk, I'd be remiss not to mention one of the most critical and unfortunately a little bit more on the painful side of an upgrade, your third-party modules. They do need to be upgraded more regularly than every 3 years. While maybe not every patch version, it should be on a regular cadence, because these modules do develop security vulnerabilities and they should be checked often. Let's sum this up. Magento 2.4.8 does bring some good, solid improvements. Now, I'd be lying to say it was anything flashy. Here's the thing. If you're happy and you're patched, there's no need to jump on this release immediately. But if you're unsure how it affects your store, feel free to reach out. I've been in this space for about 15 years, and I'm always happy to take a look, help you map out the right timing at no cost. And if you like these quick breakdowns, no fluff, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Our goal is to keep it short, helpful, and merchant focused every single time. So we'll see you in the next one.